ladies and gentlemen, boys and pussies, welcome to the apocalypse because fucking Trump is president. Oh my God, the world's gonna end. Nah, actually, welcome to episode 42. Is it 42? I'm pretty sure maybe it's 41. Ah, fuck. Let me have a look. All right. You see, I think I remembered the fucking podcast episode 2 episodes in a row. And now we're back to square one where I'm at. Oh, yes, it's 42. So I kind of remember. All right. Oh, shit. Welcome to episode 42 of the shittest podcast on iTunes. You could be listening to Hamish and Andy, but instead you're listening to this dickhead yell by himself in his fucking bedroom. So good on you with your shit taste. I mean, I appreciate it, but let's not pretend that your opinion is incorrect. All right, what am I going to do? Right now I'm going to fucking read out a couple of the reviews that you guys have been leaving me on iTunes, because I said that I would do that, and then I didn't. So let's have a look here, see if I got any more reviews. Fuck, I should have. See, if this was Hamish and Andy, they would have these printed out on their desk in front of them, ready to fucking read. But this isn't. As we've established, this is not a good podcast, so I'm just... All right, here we go. Let me go have a look. Okay, so this podcast has helped me so much. This is from James. Thanks to Spearhead Sundays, I've finally solved my social issues, cured my health problems, and helped me get on top of my responsibilities. Thanks to miscellaneous bit at the end, I've finally gotten the motivation to neck myself, and all my problems are solved. 5 out of 5 would recommend. Thank you very much for that podcast review, mate. I really do appreciate it. If you would like to leave a nice little rating, you can do that on iTunes. And don't forget to put in your little suicide note as well, as old mate did, so that your parents can read it after you listen to Miscellaneous Bit at the end, and the cops can figure out, why you decided to leave this earth. And then they'll look into my podcast to figure out how did I actually get someone to kill themselves through a podcast, and then they'll listen to it, and the entire investigating team will just go into the armory room in the police station and just start shooting themselves in the head after listening to the worst part of the podcast. But we're not at that part yet, okay? So I don't know why I'm talking about killing myself so early in the podcast. All right, so I wanted to, before I get into shit, I want to talk about why I think I'm a really good person. Okay, so I know that I'm a good person. A lot of people try and tell me that I'm an asshole, or sometimes I make people angry for no reason, which I do. I'm not going to deny that. I do like making people angry, but I know that I'm inherently a good person, and I discovered, I realized, I got evidence for it, is what I'm trying to say. This is how I know that I am truly, intrinsically, deep down inside, a really good person. Yesterday, I was walking through the city and I saw a midget on a scooter. He was riding a scooter like a child, right? He was riding his scooter, he was going down the street, and he was with a normal-sized human. And they were going down the street. The woman he was with was walking briskly, and he had no trouble keeping up because he had a scooter. And I'm a good person because I saw this and I did not laugh. I didn't laugh at all. I didn't even think it, I thought it was funny, but I didn't laugh. I didn't stare. And don't fucking tell me that you are capable of that, okay? Don't try and fucking tell me that you know that's something that you would just do. Like, it wouldn't even be hard not to see a midget riding down the street on a fucking scooter like he's 10 years old. Don't try and tell me that it's easy to look at that and not die laughing and not, like, break your neck turning around to watch him go down the street because it's the most spectacular shit you've ever seen, right? Don't call me a bad person for acknowledging that that's fucking hilarious, all right? Because I know it's funny, but I didn't laugh, and that's how I know I'm a good person. And you know what? He was on the scooter, and the handlebars were at his forehead level. So his hands were in front of his eyes. I don't know how he knew where he was going, but he was on there, he was pushing with his little stubby leg, and he was all dressed up in a suit, riding down the street on a scooter. And I didn't laugh. And I didn't stare. So that's how I know I'm a good person. All you fucking posers donating to charity, you know, working, building wells for impoverished villages. You're not good people. Right? Because I fucking know. I saw the people around me. They all fucking laughed. Like, it wasn't like everyone was screaming, dying, laughing, and pointing, but I saw the smirks, right? I saw all these people around who were trying to fucking, you know, who were evil, right? Because they saw a midget on a scooter and they laughed. They smirked. They probably went home and they told their friends about how funny it is. And they're bad people, right? The fucking World Vision charity workers trying to get people to donate to starving children in Africa. They think they're good people. I saw them laugh. I saw them smirk. I saw one of them in their orange t-shirt and their lanyard and a photo of an African orphan. You know, they're guilt tripping people in the street. But at the end of the day, I saw the girl nudge the guy and point at the midget on the scooter. So don't fucking tell me that World Vision is doing good things for the planet when their employees are laughing at midgets on a scooter. So that's how I know I'm a good person. And you know what? I know right now that most of my listeners are bad people because they're probably listening to me describe this midget in a suit with his handlebars up to his forehead going down the street on a fucking mission as fast as he can off to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I know you're laughing and you're fucking bad people sitting there on the train going to work and everyone's looking at you like a fucking psycho because you're laughing to yourself and you're a little bit embarrassed. But they don't know that you're laughing at a midget in a suit on a scooter. And I'm telling you right now that you are a bad person and I'm not, because I didn't fucking laugh. All right? So that was my good deed for the week. Is seeing something funny and not laughing because I know it would have hurt their feelings. So there you go. Anyone out there who was in doubt whether I'm a good dude or a bad dude, that's definitive proof that I'm a fucking hero. I'm a fucking hero. Also, speaking of fucking heroes, if you want to see this hero live, you know, I've been talking about doing this live podcast for episode 50, and ladies and gentlemen, it's all ready. It's all on sale. It's all locked in. Episode 50 will be recorded January 14th. Let me get the details of this show, right? Because the tickets are on sale now. So what I wanted to do to celebrate episode 50 is I wanted to record it live. So let me officially announce it. While I'm announcing it, how about I tell you the URL to buy tickets so you can grab it while everyone else is listening to the description? Because let me tell you, episode 50, to celebrate 50 episodes, there are only going to be 50 seats. Only 50 seats, right? And you can get your tickets at lousespears.com/gigs. Gigs. lousespears.com/gigs. You have to type it in. You won't be able to go onto my website and find the link. You have to actually physically type it in because I wanted to hide it from everybody else that goes on my website because I only want people who listen to this podcast to be there. It's in Melbourne, lousespears.com/gigs. And that'll be where you'll be able to grab tickets. All right. So let me just type it in now. Fuck, I hope I did it right. It should be on my website. I'm such a spaz with my website. All right, so okay, yeah, so it is there. All right, so let me tell you what the podcast is going to be, the live one. So we're going to have guests. So I've got 4 guests lined up. 4 people, including, so 3 guests, one of them is me. 4 cunts, all right? So the live podcast is going to be me, Khaled Colourfella, Luke Kidgel, and Elliot Loney. We're all going to be there. We're all going to perform at the start of the show 10 to 15 minutes of stand-up comedy each, before we record the podcast, and then we're going to sit down and record the podcast for an hour. So, if you want to come and see the stand-up, that's not actually going to be recorded. You're only going to be able to see that live. And then we're going to do the podcast, and it's going to be recorded. It's going to be the actual podcast with all of us on stage. We'll sit down and we'll record it, and we'll do that. loosespears.com/gigs if you want to grab tickets. So, let me read you the bio, because I'm very proud of the bio. Spearhead Sundays, 50th episode live. Episode 50 of the shittest podcast in Australia is almost here. And to celebrate, Lewis is doing it live on stage. Unfortunately, Hamish and Andy won't be there, but Elliot Loney, Khaled Kalafallah, and Luke Kidgel will. So if you've got bad taste in podcasts and comedians, you'll love this. Featuring stand-up performances from, there's a whole bunch of fucking boring info. But, so what I want to do there is I want to have some live stand-up, then we'll do the podcast live. Then we might have we might have a bit of live body shaming. Okay? Because you guys love calling me a skinny cunt, and I'm thinking about doing it live. But this is to motivate me, okay? It might not happen. This is the deal. Episode 50 is in January 14th, so I got November, December, I've got 3 months. What's a fair deal? 5 kilos? I'm going to aim to put on 5 kilos by January. Or should it be 10? No, I think 10's a bit unrealistic. I think 10's unrealistic. All right, so I got 3 months to put on 5 kilos. If I don't put on 5 kilos by the live podcast, I'm going to take my shirt off on stage, and everyone in the audience can shame me. And this is because I want to get really big by the time I do my tour in March and April. So by January, I want to put on 5 kilos. So right now I weigh 71 kilos. That's pathetic, okay? It's not good. If I don't weigh, I'm going to bring scales to the podcast. If I don't weigh 76, you can all body shame me live and fucking destroy my self-esteem. All right? Does that sound like a fair deal, guys? That's what we're going to do with the live podcast. I'm thinking of a few things that we're going to do, but it is going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, if you want to come, it's loosespears.com/gigs. Like I said before, there's only going to be 50 tickets because I want it to be a really intimate show. And please, for the love of God, if you are an alcoholic, please come. Because the deal with the venue is we get the venue for free, but there's a minimum spend, and I'm terrified. So, the minimum spend, what that means is we get the venue for free if everybody there collectively buys enough drinks and enough food to equal $1,500. So let's say you guys all come and nobody buys a drink, I gotta pay the fucking cunts $1,500. I can't afford So please come if you're an alcoholic, right? Like if you want to smash out $1,500 worth of alcohol and food, you got to come, okay? Because otherwise this whole show is going to send me broke. So the deal is, right, the show is going to start at 7:30, but I'm going to be there at 6:30 and I'm buying dinner. Because if I don't, that's just money that goes straight to the venue. So please come at 6:30 and buy the most expensive thing on the venue, on the menu, because otherwise your boy Lewis is going to be fucking homeless. So calling all alcoholics in Melbourne, please come to this podcast and please spend all your fucking money. Because otherwise I'm going to be homeless. No, it should be a lot of fun. I'm not joking about that minimum spend though. Like I figured out, right, you don't actually have to be an alcoholic. So if there's 50 people there, okay, how much, okay, so 1,500 divided by 50, everybody has to spend $30. Right, how much, fuck. All right, so if everybody there gets 2 drinks, we should be all right. That's not fucking ridiculous, right? Everybody there gets 2 drinks. We should be good. The show will go for about 2 hours because it'll be an hour of me, Loney, Luke, and Carla doing stand-up, and then we'll sit down for the podcast and do another hour. Probably might even go for more than an hour when we sit down and do the actual podcast. So I'm thinking throughout the course of the show, if everybody gets 2 drinks and could get dinner and then 1 drink, we should be all right. But if people come and they get nothing, I'm fucked. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, the live podcast is on sale now. There's only 50 tickets left. losebeers.com/gigs, and you can get in. And yeah, it'll be I'm really looking forward to it. But be quick, because tickets, I assume, will go pretty quick. 50 tickets is not a lot. And last time I did a show with 50 seats, I put it on Snapchat and then it sold out in like 2 hours. So I'm hoping that this will also sell out that quick. So just a heads up, guys. Yeah, also it'll be my fucking birthday. Hey, because my birthday is January 16th and the podcast is Jan 14th. So fuck, this is actually going to be a sick night, right? We're going to have Loney, Khaled, Luke, me. It'll be episode 50 of the podcast. Everyone will be trying to destroy the minimum spend. So everyone's going to be fucking smashed. And it'll be my birthday. So, sounds like a sick night. Guys and girls, come down to the live podcast, losebeers.com/gigs. And it's also my birthday. So, yeah, fucking bring vouchers for strip clubs? I don't know. Fuck that. I've actually never been to a strip club. Hey, it's something that I do want to do. But I don't know. I feel... Do you go by yourself? Or do I go with mates? See, the thing about strip clubs is I've had the opportunity to go with friends, but I've just, like, after we go to a bar or a club or something, then a few boys go to the strip club, but I've always just gone home. I don't know, I just feel like there's something weird about standing around in a room with your friends and you all have boners, right? Isn't there something a little bit strange about that? And here's what I don't get about strip clubs. Do you have to pay the girls on stage? Because as I understand it, right, you don't have to pay entry, but can you just watch without paying? Because that's, to me, I would feel guilty doing that, because that's how the girls make their money. I wouldn't want to do that. But then I also don't know how much you're supposed to give them. I don't know, the whole concept just fucking... Nothing really stresses me out, but the thought of like in social situations, you know, when people go to parties and they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know how to act. I don't know how to stand. Should I keep my hands in my pockets? That whole social anxiety thing. I don't deal with that at all. Luckily, I don't struggle with that at all. I'm quite confident. But the thought of going into a strip club and the social cues associated with that stresses me out. And I've never even fucking been there. I think about it and I start sweating because I don't want to go to a strip club because I don't know how much is the polite amount to give. Is it hundreds, or is it like if you threw $5 on the stage, is that an insult? Or is it only an insult if that's the only amount that you throw? And is it okay to, like, if you buy drinks, does that count? Like, if I spent $100 at buying drinks, am I allowed to get a lap? I don't understand. I don't understand how it works. Like, I get, like, if you want a lap dance, you got to pay the woman whatever her fee is. But in terms of when you're there and they're on the stage pole dancing, do you have to throw money? Someone let me know. If there are any lady strippers, can you let me know the etiquette? If you're a stripper, let me know the fucking etiquette of strip clubs. If you've been to a strip club, let me know. Just send me an email. Speaking of emails, I got a new fucking email. It is no longer contact@losebeers.com because the podcast is getting too big. I'm getting swamped with all the fucking emails. The new email to send podcast questions or podcast thoughts or anything about the podcast is podcast@losebeers.com. Podcast@losebeers.com. That's what it is, and that's what it's going to be. So if you have sent a question to contact@losebeers.com and I haven't answered it, resend it to podcast@losebeers.com and I'll have a look there, because I just got swamped. Because the contact one was like for business and advertising and booking and the podcast. It just got way too much. So now we've got a dedicated one and I'll be able to fucking look through it much more efficiently. So podcast@loosebeers.com, all right? That's the new email. Now let's talk about Trump winning the fucking election. I think that is fucking incredible. Not like oh, this is amazing and I love this. Like in a, holy shit, that happened. That's so unlikely. That's incredible. I can't believe it. I'm shocked. But I just think, do you remember, like, here's the reason why I'm shocked. Do you remember when you were like 15 and Donald Trump was just that funny looking guy that with the hair that would fire people on a reality TV show? You remember when that was all Donald Trump was? And he was kind of funny and lovable and Donald Trump, he's rich and he's got his own TV. And now he's the fucking president of America. That's incredible. That's absolutely ridiculous. But you know what? Here's the thing. I preferred him over Hillary. I think he's going to do a good job. I honestly do believe that he'll do a good job. And here's why he won. I'm going to do a video about this. I'm not going to do a video about Donald Trump winning the election. That's done to death. But I want to do a video, a Lou review next week about the reason why I didn't do a Lou review this week was because Trump won and the internet just cared about that. I wanted to let all that shit die down before I did a fucking video about it. You know, just people were just fucking sick of anything to do with Trump. And they didn't want to look at anything that wasn't Trump. You know what I mean? So I just held off on a video this week. So probably on Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to do a video about the culture that let Trump win. But the culture that is literally the reason Trump won. This is why I think he won, because there is such now, in America especially, and it's spreading to Australia, and I'm really starting to notice it, this culture of not having discussions and criticizing, shutting down anybody who doesn't 100% align with your beliefs and assuming the worst of them. It happened with my vegan video. I made a joke about Stop World Vegan Day and people assumed, without asking, without looking into my character, without thinking, oh, maybe it's just a joke, they assumed that I hated them and that I was some evil dude who genuinely enjoyed torturing animals and hated vegans. And then they use that information that they just made up with their own, for whatever reason, and then use that to fucking hate me and not even consider that I might be joking. And they just completely attacked me, sent me death threats and all this kind of shit, to the point where if that was my actual opinion and it wasn't a joke, that would, the only thing that level of hatred and dismissal would have done would have solidified my opinion as, oh yeah, vegans are fucking evil people. They want to kill me. I was right. I'm never going vegan. Like, obviously that's not my opinion because it was a joke, and I explained that last week what my real opinion on it was. But that's an example that I've personally experienced that people in America and around the world are experiencing with Trump, where people who genuinely like Trump, who were just regular fucking people, they weren't racist. There were plenty of black people and Hispanic people and gay people who liked Trump. And then all of a sudden, this super loud fucking extremist minority, evidently, started to shut them down and call them racist and call them evil and say, you hate blacks if you vote Trump. If you vote Trump and you're a woman, you hate women, you have internalized misogyny, and just completely shutting down the conversation and insulting people for their opinion and not having a discussion about it. And people are fucking sick of that. And all that does is solidify their opinion. Right? If the people who believed they had evidence that the world is flat, and all of these people tried to fucking attack them for it and put burning crosses on their lawns and yell at them, the only thing that does is solidify their beliefs. I suppose a better example is when scientists figured out that the world was round, they were attacked and they were fucking literally killed. They were hurt and they were assaulted and they were insulted. And you know what? Now we know that the world is round. And all of that violence and anger and hatred towards those people only made them go, yeah, I'm definitely right. This just fucking proves that I'm correct. And the same shit happens with beliefs and opinions and religious beliefs. We know this, right? When we attack Muslims and hate on Muslims and make out like all Muslims are fucking terrorists, that actually does create terrorists, and the ones that are being radicalized, all that does is make them firmer in their belief that, yes, I am correct, everybody hates me, everybody hates Muslims, I'm going to blow up some shit, right? And the same shit is with politics. And I think there's this real culture of shutting people down and not having discussions with people you disagree with on issues that have to do with feminism, with religion, with politics, with just about anything these days. We don't want to discuss and we don't want to talk to people we disagree with. And that's why safe spaces exist. Do you know what I mean? A safe space, what does that mean? That's just a place where people agree with you and the people who don't agree with you are not allowed in. So, for example, the people who don't think people should need safe spaces because they think that's coddling people and treating them like children and not allowing discussion, they're not allowed in safe spaces. So the people that are pro-safe space stay in their little fucking bubble where the only people around them agree with safe spaces, and they're not even willing to discuss with others who think that they might not need that space. And that's not to say that safe spaces are fucking bad things. That's to say, people who hate safe spaces, if you discuss with them why you personally need one, they might go, oh, fuck, I never looked at it that way. Yeah, maybe you should have a safe space. But instead, all these people who are pro-safe space, they just go, nah, everybody who doesn't want me to have this is a fucking racist, patriarchy-enforcing white male who hates women and hates black people and hates gays. And then everybody who's against the safe space idea goes, yeah, well, fucking obviously that's why we shouldn't have safe spaces, because it breeds hatred. So fuck you. And this isn't even just right and left politics. They're as bad as each other. It's just not having discussions, because I genuinely enjoy having discussions with people that I disagree with, as long as it's civil, right? If people start yelling, all I go is, well, fuck, that person's crazy. Obviously I'm correct. Because if you have that discussion with someone that you may not disagree with, you learn shit. That's how it happens. You learn shit, and if you have a debate with someone that you think is wrong, either you will understand why they are doing the thing that you think is incorrect, and you'll go, fuck, maybe they're right. Maybe I could, and you'll go over to their side and you'll be better for it. Or you'll talk to them and go, oh, well, now I definitely understand it and I still think it's wrong, so I'm still going to oppose it. And then your argument is stronger for it because you've heard all of their points and you're now able to refute them in a way that other people can understand. And who knows, when you get better at debating the people that you think are wrong, the people who you think are wrong might fucking come over and go, no, you know what, you're right. I was wrong about that, and your sensible discussion and reasoning and arguing has won me over to your side. And that's how the fucking world gets better. But we're locking that out now. Especially with the internet. People are just blocking people, or I'm only going to fucking... And it's so easy to get locked up in your bubble because Facebook and social media actively promote this without us even knowing. Facebook wants to have the most positive experience possible, right? So their algorithm is designed to only show you things that you like, which means it only shows you news articles that it knows you're going to agree with, from sources that Facebook knows are already aligned with your personal beliefs. And then you get stuck in this bubble of your news feed where the only times you see the opposing side, right, say you're a right-wing person, the only times you will ever see arguments from the left-hand side is when a right-wing news site posts an extremist left-wing person freaking out about trigger warnings and safe spaces, and then you go, fuck, the left is crazy. They're fucking insane. obviously I'm correct. And people on the left do the exact same thing with people on the right. And the whole thing is just labeling and putting people in boxes. You're a straight white male. You can't talk about race relations. You've got privilege. You're white. You cannot experience racism. Despite your personal experience with it, I'm going to dismiss that because I say you have privilege. Do you know what I mean? Like that, and it just completely locks people down and makes white people go, oh, fuck, you hate me. So I'm not going to listen to your argument. And that's exactly why Trump won. Because all of the really loud minority of people called everybody who liked Trump names, and they insulted them, and they locked down discussion, and they didn't say why Hillary Clinton would be better. They only said Trump is evil. And if you vote for him, you're evil. That was the loudest argument against Trump, is he's a racist and so are you if you like him. And that doesn't convince anybody, because there genuinely are people like me who liked Trump who aren't racist. And all that says to me is go, well, fuck, if you think I'm a racist for voting Trump, well, I know that I'm not a racist, so obviously anything that you say, I'm going to look at through a lens of, you hate me and you were wrong about it. So if your opening argument is, if you vote Trump, you hate Muslims, and someone who genuinely doesn't hate Muslims and genuinely likes Trump hears that, any other arguments from the side against Trump is just going to be tarnished by that first initial fucking argument that was completely incorrect and hateful and hurtful and mean. So of course they're not going to go over to their side. And I think that's why he won, because people are fucking sick of it. And that's why all of the polls said that Hillary was going to win, because people who liked Trump didn't fucking answer those polls, because they know that if people in public hear them say, yeah, I like Trump, I think he'd be a good idea and I agree with his policies, all of these people are going to go, you fucking racist, you fucking homophobe, you fucking Islamophobic woman-hating cunt. How could you vote Trump? And they didn't want to get into those conversations, so they didn't answer the polls. So all of the polls said that Hillary Clinton was going to win because everybody was supposed to have that opinion. That's what people felt like they should believe to be a good person. But then when you get alone in that little fucking voting booth where there's no pollsters around, there's no one around to judge you, when it's just you and the fucking box that you have to tick, when you can truly be alone and be yourself without fear of judgment, without fear of people saying that you're a racist, people went, you know what? I'm fucking voting Trump. And that's why he won, because people are sick of being abused for having their opinions. And yeah, that's what I want to do a video about. I just want to do a video on, I think I'm going to call it the death of discourse, where nobody wants to fucking talk. The loudest voices from any ideology, you name it, religion, veganism, politics, the loudest voices will not talk to the other side and only insult the other side. And that's partly how they become the loudest voices, because their whole thing is sensationalist fucking yelling about how people who disagree with us are evil. And of course that goes viral. Of course the news puts that in the news. Of course people retweet that shit, whether they agree or disagree, because it's fucking volatile. And that's why Trump won, because you didn't talk to the people who liked him, and you didn't discuss with them why you thought Hillary was better. It was just yelling. And you look at the reaction to Trump now winning, people literally couldn't comprehend the fact that there are that many people out there that disagree with them because they didn't go out into those circles and talk to those people that didn't agree with them. People are so fucking locked in their little bubble of everyone who supports Hillary Clinton or everyone who supports Bernie Sanders. The same shit happened when Bernie fucking lost the nomination. All of the Bernie people fucking freaked out. They couldn't comprehend it. They couldn't believe it. Because they weren't talking to the other side of people who disagreed with them. And that's why there's fucking riots. That's why people are crying. That's why Hillary cancelled her fucking speech about losing. Because no one even began to comprehend the fact that she might lose. Because no one talks to each other. And that was my little fucking serious rant on the podcast, huh? How'd you like that? That wasn't very funny. Oh, maybe I should have stuck talking about fucking midgets on scooters, hey? That would have been more entertaining. All right, so what are we going to talk about now? Oh, yeah, I just wanted to say as well, he's not going to fucking destroy the planet. People are acting like it's the end of the world, and America does this every fucking time. Australia doesn't do this. I think we're pretty good at having prime ministerial elections. I mean, everybody hated on Tony Abbott, but that's because he kind of was a fucking idiot. And even his own party admitted, yeah, he was a fucking idiot, we'll kick him out and replace him. And then everyone was kind of like happy with Malcolm Turnbull. We were like, oh yeah, this guy's not retarded. We can work with this. Good work, Liberal Party. Yeah, I don't know. I think that the whole way America discusses big issues is so polarizing, and it's to do with the media and their culture. And I think that shit's coming to Australia, and it scares the shit out of me because, you know, America leads culture, and if we're gonna have this culture of fucking yelling people down, I'm gonna go to Canada too. All right, so let's get on to the bit before. Let's do some fucking ad reads, shall we? I'm going to call the ad reads the bit before miscellaneous bit at the end. So this part is my favorite part of the podcast. Miscellaneous bit at the end, fucking horrible, makes me want to die. But the bit before, hang on. The bit before the miscellaneous bit at the end. The bit before the miscellaneous bit at the end. That's what this part of the podcast is called. This is when I read the ads that I fucking love because really, these ads signify the last part of happiness before we dive into the worst part of every podcast, all right? So let's all enjoy this. Let's all embrace our this month's sponsor, which is Wrist Society. What's the number one compliment you'll receive this year? If you're not wearing a watch, none, because men are never complimented on anything else. Get a sick watch every month from Wrist Society. Having gone viral multiple times on Reddit and featured on GQ magazine, Wrist Society is shaking up the overpriced watch industry by offering a new watch every single month starting at $29 a month. And best of all, what could be better than that, Wrist Society? I know what would be better than that. If you lived up to your name and you just added another Y in there and you called yourself the Wristy Society. That'd be a service I would use. $29 a month, free hand jobs whenever I want. Now, I'd fucking use that, all right? Watches are good, but if you could get a new kind of hand job every month, I mean, fuck you guys, that could be a little sister company, right? So you sign up to Wrist Society. You go wristsociety.com/Lou, and then you use the code Sundays to get 10% off. And then you go on to Wristy Society and you get hand jobs. I mean, fuck, you could... Here's the thing, right? I'm serious about this, Wrist Society, right? So here's what you should do. All of my podcast listeners need to go to wristsociety.com/Lou and sign up for the sick watches, use the code Sundays and get 10% off. And then I'm going to set up my own company called Wristy Society, where I give everyone who signs up to wristsociety.com/Lou, I give them all hand jobs once a month. And what we'll do, right, is because you're a Wrist Society customer, come over to my place, Wristy Society, and you can, the new watch that you get once a month from wristsociety.com/Lou, you can give that to me and I'll wear it while I give you a hand job. Oh, fuck. That'd be great. But unfortunately, that doesn't exist. But Wrist Society does. All right? Let me finish reading. All right? Use code Sundays to receive 10% off and go to my special link wristsociety.com/Lou. But why would I want a new watch every month? I bet they're regretting sponsoring me. Last month I was joking about rape. This month I'm talking about hand jobs during their ad copy. But you know what? That's why we should support this fucking company, because I spoke to the guy a couple days ago who runs the company after he heard my ad. And let me tell you something, guys. I was genuinely freaking out because I let out too many horrible jokes, and that was like my first impression. And you know what? He thought it was fucking funny. Does this guy have any sense of professionalism? That is not funny. No company should be supporting this terrible fucking content. But you know what? Wrist Society are getting behind Spearhead Sunday. So everyone check out their fucking watches. All right, let me finish the copy. Why would I want a new watch every month? Oh shit, I'm going to tell you, evidently, because that's what it's written for me to say. Well, watches can be one of the most important factors when it comes to style, especially for guys. Because for girls, you've got cleavage and fucking hairspray. When it comes to accessorizing, let's face it, men are limited, which is why watches generally receive more compliments than anything else worn. Wearing a watch can show you how great your sense of style is, especially when you have the ability to make multiple watches work with any fit. To put it simply, wearing different watches illustrates diversity. Diversity makes you interesting. There's a certain feeling associated with having a watch collection and picking out a watch knowing it's the perfect timepiece to suit your day. Wrist Society understands that watches are more than just to tell the time. Watches tell a story of who you are. And you know what? That's actually fucking true. There's nothing... Because, dude, this entire planet is all about bullshit. It's all about making yourself look better than you actually are. That's what social interactions are. What do you do for work? Oh, I'm a general manager of a very successful fucking company. No, you're not. You work at McDonald's and you tell the 15-year-olds how to flip burgers, okay? But they gave you the title general manager because it sounds fancier than it actually fucking is. And that's what Wrist Society is. It looks like you got a nice watch on, and people will see you wearing multiple different watches, and they'll go, fuck, this guy is fucking loaded. They don't know you're paying $29 a month and you're getting a sick watch. They just think you look fucking loaded. So that's why you should jump on wristsociety.com. One, because I'll start up Wristy Society and give you a hand job. But two, people will think you've got more money than you are, and they'll think you're more stylish than you actually are as well. Because people don't really notice when you dress well. They just notice that you own a lot of clothes. I've noticed that, right? I've got one good outfit. It's the fucking leather jacket with the black t-shirt, the black jeans, and the coloured shoes. And that worked for me for a few days, and then everyone noticed that's the only nice outfit I own. So if there was a Wrist Society for my outfits, I'd be jumping on that fucking as soon as possible. Because everybody only has one watch, and people should have fucking multiples. I've got my watch here. You can hear it, right? And you know what? It's broken. And I'm not going to get it fixed. Instead, I'm just going to go to fucking Wrist Society and get a new one every month. So, yeah. Jump on there. wristsociety.com/Lou. You get fucking 10% off. And, actually, I can see everybody who's jumping on. Quite a few people from the podcast are jumping on. So that's really cool. I'm glad to know that it's something that you guys would actually use, because that's what I'm trying to do with the advertisers. Is I'm not going to fucking advertise like, I don't know, what would you guys not use? What's my demographic? All right. Yeah, so you guys obviously wouldn't use condoms, is what I'm saying, because no one who listens to this is going to get laid unless they're on wristsociety.com/Lou and they get 10% off using the code Sundays. All right? So there we go. wristsociety.com/Lou, 10% off using the code Sundays. Do it up. Check out their watches. They're fucking sick. Right, now, Unfortunately, that was the bit before the bit. This is really hard to say. The bit before miscellaneous bit at the end is now over. That was my favorite part of the podcast. Now it's time for the worst part. Everyone fucking turn it off. Let's do... Makes me want to die. Let's do some fucking questions. We got one from a lady. Hey, you skinny cunt. My name is Sarah. I'm 21, 22 on Sunday the 20th. What's the date? Happy birthday for next week, I think that is. Sarah, all right, so I love your stuff. I'm a reasonably new fan, but I'm liking it so far. I saw you on a train with a mate a few months back and said, look at that fucking giant. And my mate replied, that's Lou Spears, you fucking moron, and I've been a fan ever since. So basically what Sarah has said there is, hey, Lewis, I found out about your content because I saw you in the street and thought, wow, what a fucking freak. So you're not a good person, right? Sarah, you're a bad person because I saw a midget on a scooter and I didn't laugh once. You saw me and you pointed and said, look at that freak. So you're a bad person, I'm a good person. That's the difference between you and I, Sarah, okay? Now, let me give you some advice. I'm going to give you bad advice and ruin your life. No, I'm not. I would never do that, Sarah. I would never do that to you because I'm a good person. I don't laugh at midgets on scooters. You point at tall freaks, all right? So let's just set up that. I'm a hero. You're a scum of the earth. A few weeks ago, a girlfriend of mine sent me a text pretty late saying that I should get this tattoo. And then she gave me a picture and, oh, that's bad. So the picture she sent me, it's like a girl, it's like her chest right above the boobs, and it is two handguns pointing down towards her tits. Bad tattoo. Not nice, right? Nobody wants guns above tits. I can't be having sex with a girl and ducking for cover every time one of her tits moves enough to point the fucking barrel at me, right? I'm not going to be into that. Not a good tattoo. All right, so she said I should get this tattoo. As you can see, it's pretty shit. But because I'm a smart ass, I replied, fuck yeah, vomit emoji. I never heard back. Anyway, a few days later, she came over to my place and showed me her new tattoo. Clearly a backyard job, as it looks terrible. And I fucking laughed my ass off because I thought it was a joke. It wasn't. It was real. She cried. Then I cried. She has fucked her body forever. She got really angry saying I said it was a good idea, I'm a horrible friend, etc. I said she's her own person and it's not my fault. I want your opinion on if you think this is fucking funny or if I'm being a huge cunt. Everyone I've told so far says I'm shit for encouraging her. They can get fucked, right? I was just joking. I didn't think she would do it. Anyway, funny story either way. Have a shit one, Sarah. Yeah. You're not a shit person. You clearly... She sent you a photo of a terrible tattoo telling you that you should get it, and then you said fuck yeah with a vomit emoji. That is obviously sarcasm, truth. Fuck yeah, sarcasm, vomit emoji, that's what I actually think. You're fucking joking. And at the end of the day, she got the terrible tattoo. Even if you seriously told her it was a good idea, if she believed you, she's a fucking moron. If I showed a mate a picture of like a dick tattooed with a knife, like a knife tattoo on top of a cock, and my mate said, yeah, man, I love it, you should get it. At the end of the day, I'm still the retard who thought it would be a good idea to get that on my penis so that every time I have sex with a girl, I look down and it looks like I'm stabbing her to death with a knife, okay? That's on me. That's not on you. That's not on the person who said, yeah, get it. At the end of the day, Sarah, you're not a bad friend. You're just friends with a fucking retard, all right? That's what happened. Appreciate the support. I hope to catch you at a show and you can see how freakishly long I am on stage. But yeah, fuck, that's not your fault. Your friend's an idiot. She's the one who got guns tattooed on her tits, not you. Fuck. That picture was terrible. All right, next question. Oh, we got an update. Oh, this is a good one. I remember this one. I forgot about it. All right, so do you guys remember my story about a girl wanting to punch her in the face? I told that story on the podcast. It's also on my YouTube channel. A guy hit me up, said that his girlfriend listened to that with him and then wanted him to punch her in the face. Now, the girl that I was dealing, who asked me to do that, she wasn't a girlfriend. She was just a girl I was seeing and was not serious at all. So I can just leave. But this was this guy's girlfriend. So it's very different. I told him that he needs to sit her down and have a serious conversation and say that he's not going to punch her in the face because he didn't want to do it. So he needs to have that conversation with her. And he did it. And now he's gotten back to me. All right. G'day, cunt. So I love the podcast. Just for these, this is great. Because this is a hectic, terrifying problem that I just get to read about and laugh, and I don't have to deal with it, right? It's great. I'm not laughing at you. I kind of am. Okay, I'm just going to read it. So a few weeks ago, you read out my email about my predicament regarding my sex life. After some serious discussion, we came to the conclusion that I would not punch her in the face during sex. However, during our next session, shortly before climax, everything went black. I woke up about 30 seconds later with a throbbing headache and a laughing partner saying, "You were yelling for your mum when you blacked out, you pussy." She got up and said, "Do you want to call me mummy now?" and pulled a nine-tailed whip from under the bed. So you were having sex with your girlfriend and she punched you in the head and you blacked out. See, I fucking told you, you can't punch people. Even a girl punching a guy in the head, that's not a sex thing. That's you're going to get fucking knocked out. That's exactly what happened. Exactly what I said would happen happened. She punched you in the head and you fucking blacked out because that's what happens when you get punched. What, you think someone's going to deck you and break your nose and you're going to have the best orgasm of your life? No. That's not what happens when they interview King hit victims. They just go, "Yeah, I can't walk now. It really sucks." They don't go, "Oh, it was kinky as, bro." It was like, "Nah, my life is over." That's what happens when you get punched. Your fucking life ends. Risky as. The issue here is I'm really not into this again. When I first met her, she seemed like a really sweet girl, but fuck, she's kinky, like uncomfortably kinky. What should I do now? Also, I'd rather die in a raging fire than listen to the miscellaneous bit at the end again. Have a shit one. Straight up, man. That was what you experienced was non-consensual domestic violence. That's what happened to you. She punched you in the face out of nowhere for no reason, and you hated it. That's domestic violence. You have an abusive girlfriend. That's not cool. You gotta get the fuck out of there, man. Especially because you've already spoken to her and explained that this kind of shit you're not gonna do, and then the next time you have sex, she punches you in the face? Nah, man. You gotta get the fuck out of there. That's straight up textbook domestic violence, and you should definitely not put up with that. You got to fucking dump this girl and you got to get her out of your life, man. Fuck that. And she can go and hang out with some dude who wants to punch her in the face and she can enjoy her life, because fuck that. That's all I got to say. Fuck that. I think that should be your reaction. As soon as you woke up after she punched you in the face, you should have looked her in the eyes and gone, fuck that, and then just left, never come back. Don't email me. Break up with her. Get rid of her. She's insane. Fuck that. That's all I wanted to talk about, guys. Send me an update with how that goes for you, man. I really do hope you break up with her, because you don't want to deal with that. Now that she's hit you, she's going to do it again because you didn't leave. So she's like, "Oh, I can just get away with this shit now." You got to fucking get out of that situation, man. It's not good. That's the end of the podcast. So yeah, just to recap, the live podcast is on sale now. It's probably going to sell out really quick. So louspears.com/gigs. And you can grab tickets. We're doing it live. There'll be live body shaming, Elliot Loney, Carla Calafella, Luke Kidgel, all of that shit. If you would like to hear all episodes of the podcast early, become a Patreon supporter. I put this out on Saturday at around 5 p.m. Normally, I'm going to aim to put them out on Fridays. But yeah, if you want to hear the podcast early, become a Patreon supporter and you get all my videos early and all that kind of shit. And jump on risksociety.com/Lou to get 10% off your fucking watches, eh? Nice little watches. Don't say I don't look after you cunts, because I'm a good cunt. All right, so that's it. Thanks for listening. Donald Trump's the president. How funny is that? Fucking lol. All right, build the wall. What else did he say? Melania, sorry I cheated on you, but this other chick was also really hot. There was nothing I could do. And grab her by the pussy. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a shit one. See you next week.